I think they can.
Wow.
Anything can happen at sport. Weekend weather now with Emma Friedman.
Weekend Today's Weather, brought to you by Inner Health Plus. Have you had your Inner Health Plus today?
Tim and Layla, some people have hobbies like paragliding or baking cakes. Other people like to get involved in the traditions of medieval times, and that's what we're exploring today at the Medieval Fair, which is part of the Blacktown City Council Festival, which is happening in Doonside over the course of the weekend. I have been roped into these traditions and I'm sporting some very glorious pieces of apparel this morning, and this is how they would have created them over 1,000 years ago, using a lot of different tools like wool combs to brush out the sheep's wool to create yarn. They also would have used a lot of different tools with their weaving and their spinning. Aimee is actually demonstrating for us this morning how to spin the yarn and create some wool so that we can make something like my gloves that I'm wearing this morning. She's using a tool called a drop spindle, and this is what they would have used back in the day. No Janome overstitching over 1,000 years ago. Very warm in my medieval pieces of clothing. We'll take a look at what's happening with your temperatures. I think you will have to keep warm this morning. It is looking a little bit chilly right across the country. If you're in Cairns, you've got cloudy skies and then a couple of showers, a top of 28 degrees, 24 and mostly sunny if you're in Brisbane. On the Gold Coast today, mostly clear as well. Maybe a shower later in the day, a top of 23 degrees. 21 and partly cloudy if you are in Sydney. Canberra, early frost and then partly cloudy skies, a top of 16 degrees. Couple of showers in Melbourne forecast. Also wet in Hobart. In Adelaide today, there will be some early fog and then a morning couple of showers. Top of 18 degrees. 25 and sunny in Perth. Absolutely glorious. The same goes for Alice Springs. And up in Darwin, mostly sunny skies and a top of 32 degrees. Well, let's be honest, over 1,000 years ago when we were living in medieval times, they did a lot of battles, whether that would be with swords or using big poles in jousting matches, and I have been told we have been given the go-ahead to engage in such activities this morning. After they won such battles, though, Tim and Layla, they would drink alcohol, whether it be cider or mead, out of this, a drinking horn, to celebrate their victory. So hopefully we are victorious later in the morning. Coming up next half hour, sword fights, and apparently I'm going to be fighting with a sword.
We'll look forward to that. I'll tell you what, a few drinks in, you want to make sure you had that vessel up the right way. By the way, I think that outfit you've got on... Yeah, that outfit you've got on could get catchy, because all you need to do is basically turn it round. You don't need to make the bed and you've got the blanket on. Look at it, you just pull it round, act as if you're going to sleep.
This is true, Tim, but I am querying the length of the skirt back in the day because, as you can see, this was not appropriate in terms of getting messy, but also the tripping over, which I've done a couple of times into the fire this morning. So I don't know if they had it all right back in the medieval times, but hopefully maybe we'll try out the sword fighting and the jousting and see that they were onto a good thing.
Well, they had their drinking measures sorted out. That's
good on them, yeah. That's a sort of that's a medieval yard glass.
Yeah, thanks, Still to come on Weekend.